Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Experiences with Anish. So today I have a special guest, is what I would say, because I've been in contact with Phanindra Reddy, I would say more than maybe 1.5 to 2 years now. So in fact, like I've been the first, like wherein he hired me to, write Web3 content for him. So that time he was like completely into Web3, crypto, and all those things. So he did hire me to write, write for him. I think it was LinkedIn and Twitter content. So it was a great relationship. I've been traveling a lot with him, and due to some other work, other kind of work, like we kind of parted ways. Like he was doing his own things, and like I was doing my own thing. And now I think it's been after 5 6 months that again, when I came back to my LinkedIn, when I started being more active, when I saw Fanindra, he completely changed his niche and it's like more into AI, is what I said. Not more, I would say it's like completely into AI. And that was like kind of mind blowing, because I was thinking like, he was like completely into Web3, and suddenly there was a complete transition. I would say like, the 100% transition into AI. So I've been thinking this might be another great chance to talk to him. And you've been doing a lot of sessions. I've seen, if people look at Fanindra's LinkedIn, like you've been doing a lot of sessions. You've been, talking to a lot of people, all those things. So we have a lot to discuss today. I'm so happy, Fanindra, to have you again here on my show. So how do you feel?
For fun fact, you're the first person I ever hired.
Yes.
Yeah, for writing tweets. So that was
Hmm.
one chance that I get there. So you're the first person I ever hired. So writing cricket Twitter tweets, I guess. So
Exactly.
yeah. And after that, what happens is like I completely got into. I became like an agency owner. It's called.
Hmm.
We used to make content for people. And by the way, for my introduction, I used to work as a AI engineer in Accenture. Then I did it for 2 years. So that's where all of my AI came from. Then I got into
Okay.
writing because I liked it more. And after 2 years of running my agency, I thought like it's time to get into the AI part of it. That's when ChatGPT's launched it, 2020, 2023 early time, like 2020
Exactly.
mid. And I was mind blown. I was like, what is this? What is this witchcraft? Because I know that as an AI engineer, it should not be possible. So it blown me away, and I literally closed my doors for 6 months. I closed my agency, and
Hmm.
I left AI completed for 6 months. So that was the pivoting point of my life that
Okay.
I actually did it, and then from I scratched it every from scratch I started every AI again. So that is my
Awesome.
journey. Yeah,
That's really good good to know. So today again, like guys, like we have a lot of talk with him. Like specifically, like I've seen a lot of people by myself who want to get into this AI space, but they really don't know how to navigate it. So since you've been in that space, like we're gonna help you navigate in everything when it comes to AI. Okay, so let's get started with this. Okay, so first, before we specifically diving deep into AI, I want to talk a little bit about no code, because I
yeah.
think for the past, I would say anywhere between 4 to 5 years, no code have been like really skyrocketing. Like wherever you see, people are talking about no code, people are talking about automation, all those things. Now we have an AI which is kind of integrated into no code, is what I would say, right? So like, what is your current take on no code first, and then like how is kind of AI helping it enhance this no code tools?
So, for example, when I actually first started, I
Hmm.
we want to start with no code itself. The first, I have made my website in WordPress. We
Okay.
made like a directory and all, but there are
Hmm.
very limitations to WordPress. Then we searched it for the best options, right?
Okay.
The first option that popped up is Bubble. So
Yeah.
Bubble is
Bubble.
the OG of no code tools, and
Exactly.
if you want to actually, if you can actually learn Bubble even right now, it won't take you more than 6 weeks. It's very simple to actually make an application, but they have the limitations. So like it's very easy to start. Let's say you have an idea and you want to build it in maybe like a couple of days, just the
Hmm.
front page, and see how like an OpenAI wrapper or anything like that. Bubble is very easy to build. You don't need to know any of the things. So you don't need
Okay.
to know front end is, what back end is. No, nothing. You need nothing to learn about the stuff. But all you need is like a basic proper course of teaching you the templates, how to do
Hmm.
stuff like that. Even if you are non-technical, Bubble is completely fine for you. You don't need to have any technical
Understood.
knowledge to do it. But the negative side or the other side of the coin is when you go with Bubble, right? You are
Hmm.
locked in that ecosystem.
Okay.
So imagine you want to take, for example, you have a web application and you want to
Hmm.
build like mobile application, an extension on top of it or something, right? You can't
Okay.
actually do Bubble. So you only have a web application. and you can't completely get how you actually want it. So there are limitations to bubble in
Okay.
general. But
Understood.
I'm not saying that people are not building in bubble. There are so many projects I know that are built in bubble, and they got a valuation more than of 10, 20, 30 million dollars as well.
Wow.
And yeah, so there's very huge upside. And the second thing, the bubble I hate about is it's an ecosystem lock,
Okay.
right? For example, before like 1 year ago, bubble has a pricing of you pay $40 and you use it pretty good. So that is the
Hmm.
price.
Okay.
But right now they changed the pricing to clicks,
Oh, meaning?
workloads. For example, let's say you went into Flipkart and
Hmm.
you added a button, right? For example,
Oh,
you like it something. So that's a workload.
wow.
Imagine you added another action to add it to cart. That's a workload.
Oh my God.
So basically, like every single click someone does, it
Hmm.
relates to workload, any small action.
Okay.
And not every workload is the same. Imagine if it uses multiple things
Multiple kind
to
of
process,
flow.
the workloads
Exactly.
increase. So one small example of this is a person is running a SaaS. It has a revenue around $500 or something per month, and
Okay.
he's paying Bubble around $40, $39.
Okay.
And Bubble changed this pricing, and he got a bill of $1,700.
Oh my God. Wherein he's
So
getting a revenue of just 500.
yes, he's getting a revenue of 500. So he closes that project because that's literally making no
Obviously.
sense, right?
Exactly.
So imagine if you want to scale faster and you have a lot of free users, then Bubble will kill you with the fees, because imagine you have like 10,000 free users, everyone clicking it up, your workload will add
Hmm.
like crazy, and the cost is pretty high. So like it's good for
Understood.
like if you have zero technical knowledge. But yeah, and so these are the positives and negatives of Bubble. But if you want to get a job as a Bubble developer, it's pretty good. There are hundreds and thousands of people who want to develop, who want their apps developed on Bubble, because 70 to 80% of the entire population right now uses Bubble. So
Wow.
that's a
That's
pretty
huge.
yeah, that's a pretty good one you can consider. So entire no code, like how Zapier has the market cap of 70-80%, Bubble,
Mm-hmm.
Bubble is the king of no code. That because it has the largest thing, right? So
Understood.
that's the first one. And the second option I would give if someone is very new is Softer. It has improved a
Yes.
lot from what I have seen before. So it's adding a lot of things like simple templates, simple applications. Software is the way to go. It has pricing of five, like $200 or $299
Okay.
or 40 depending on unlimited apps, but it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't work on the workload cost of it. So it's much better, like in the
Understood.
ROM if you are doing this thing. And the ultimate tool I will suggest someone is Flutter Flow, because it is insanely good. You won't even believe how good that tool is.
I mean, like I did remember like when I thought like I want to get deep into the like I've asked you and you told me like it would be good if you
Mhm.
start studying Flutter
Flutter
Flow. I
Flow,
did remember that.
yeah. So the whole thing of this thing is, let's say their costliest plan is 2,100 Indian. If you are in India, it's 2,100, or if
Okay.
you are in US, the other regions is $49. And for that, you can build your Android application, iOS application, web application,
No.
Android app, sorry, Windows app and Mac app,
Windows app.
everything. And you only need to build once. You can directly publish to Play Store and you can directly publish to App Store,
Wow.
and it will give you the entire code.
Hmm.
Like yeah,
Sounds.
within like 2 to 3 clicks, you will get all the code that you need. So, but the thing is, like you need to create your own backend. You need to create the, because it gives you the entire front end. You need to attach your
Yes.
backend like
Yeah. So
Firebase or Supabase something.
understood.
It's a
So it's
bit
kind of
more tech.
understood. So that's what like when it comes to this learning curve is kind of hard, right?
It's a bit harder, but it gives you ultimate flexibility. So
Okay.
there are like so many other things that come inside, and so like imagine you just build it once. You have a web app, mobile app, so you don't need hundreds of different of code bases. And imagine your project grows pretty good,
Hmm.
and you don't need to build from scratch. You can ask the developers, "Hey, check this out. This is what we have," and you can add on top of it. And
Understood.
if you want to write your own code, you can write your own code. And if you're technical, if you want to write code, you can write your own code in Flutterflow as well. So
Okay.
that is the pretty good thing in Flutterflow. Uh, but yeah, I started a lot in Flutterflow, but
Mm-hmm.
no code has
Mm-hmm.
limitations.
Yes.
Like, but the thing is, like, you can build simplistic apps. Some build very good apps too, but it doesn't give you the initial freedom of how you want to do it. So if you want to start something small, maybe just an MVP or something, uh, highly suggest to go no code. See
Understood.
if it's working or not. Right? Try a
Okay.
couple of things. Uh, then I was into the no code for all 1.5 year. I learned about it, everything. Then I understand the both ups and downs of it. The thing is, like, without if you want to start from scratch,
Mm-hmm.
Flutter is the best. It will create the UI UX. It's like how you create in Figma. So you get all the necessary code that you
Understood.
actually need, and you can download the code directly. So imagine in that way, you can make your UI very faster, stuff like that, right?
Understood.
So if you're starting, my first suggestion would be like try in Bubble, learn Bubble, take a Udemy course. I took like one. Uh, if someone is not completely technical, I suggest the people to go to no code. I even train them in no code actually. So first I give
Well,
them Bubble. Once they're completely involved in Bubble, then I teach them Flutter Flow.
okay. Okay.
So it's like the step by step journey, right? So
Mm-hmm. Understood.
and if you're only completely having no code, right? So even the no code needs some backend. Bubble doesn't need a backend. It has inbuilt data storage, but the data is pretty costly. It's
Costly.
very costly.
Very.
It's so much costly. It's like if you actually run it right, you're gonna pay $1,000 to $2,000 just for the storage itself. In sometimes if the app is super large.
Understood.
So what Flutter tools like Flutterflow and all these things do is they connect to other backend applications. Let's say Firebase is one, Supabase is very good. If you want to have like a no code one, no
Mm-hmm.
code backend, there is
Mm-hmm.
something Xano, which is pretty
Okay.
famous. Xano is a no code backend, and I know a lot of people use it, like all the pros, Bubble,
Mm-hmm.
Flutter, and they use Xano as a backend, right? And after that they use make to make the applications, right? Xano has a storage, like a drive storage, whatever it is. So you need three parts in whatever that you need. So one, you need a front end, so what people see, right? The
Exactly.
second is something that processes the
Mm-hmm.
request. Let's
Mm-hmm.
say when you click something, uh, maybe the whole thing is like it should make a calculation, or it should go to ChatGPT, give something, and give it in a specific format. It can be
Okay.
hundreds of things, or it can
Understood.
be going back, fetching something, and picking the data. So these all things will be making by. In general, you write code for it, but the 90% of no coders I use, they use make.com.
Okay. So like I didn't know that make is kind of so helpful in terms of even building your application. Like I was just thinking that
Yeah,
make is
that
just for automation purpose. That's all.
yeah, like the whole thing is you need something, like for example the whole concept of an application is you getting something, right? let's
Mm-hmm.
say let's say my application, what it does is maybe creating personalized proposals for some clients or diet for some people, right? So you
Okay.
give all the details, you press enter. So make take all of these things, maybe it gives it to OpenAI, you create the flow of it,
Understood.
and it
Understood.
gives the output that is taken back to this.
Okay. Which is
So
then displayed. Okay.
yeah, and for comparisons,
Mm-hmm.
Zapier is 10x more expensive than Make.
Oh.
So if my bill in Make is $40 for all the things that I do, it will be
Okay.
$400 in Zapier. If it is
Oh,
$100 in Make, it will be $1,100 in Zapier. Zapier
my
is
God.
pretty expensive. It's so much expensive. I hate it actually. But the thing is, like, it has more than 70 to 80% of the market share. So many people use
Understood.
it for the ease of use, but it is hell a lot of expensive. So if you're starting it out, go to Make. Don't even go to Zapier. Try to figure things out. You will like it more. There is much more room for customizations, automation, stuff like that.
Yes. And
And
here's a fun fact is what I would say because I when I asked you for an advice that like in which tool do you recommend me to learn and you said make and I don't know whether you're aware of my LinkedIn profile, but like everything like what I do is completely is using Make. Like I'm learning as much as I can. When I know when it comes to the no code platform, like I completely like, I'm into Make.
Should I run Clay or Make? I
Yeah,
should go for
Clay. I mean, Clay was like I tried Clay, but then Clay was like I think completely out of I wouldn't say out of context, but it was like too difficult. Is what I would. I mean, like
very technical. Clay is very
it's
technical.
like
Even
very technical. So I was thinking like, and even when I asked you like in terms of like Zapier and Make, you kind of told that Make could be like much more helpful.
yeah. And one of the hack that a lot of people uses is there are three major platforms that people use. So first one
Okay.
is App, which
Mm-hmm.
has around 60 to 70% of the entire automation space,
Automate. Okay.
right? The
Okay.
second is Make. For example, Zapier has around 6,000 applications it connects directly to. Make has around 1,500.
Okay.
Okay. So there is a difference. You can't find any
Difference.
application, but you find all the relative things that you do,
Hmm.
right? And the third one is N8N. I think you heard
Yes.
N8N as
Yes.
well.
I've heard about
So
it.
what N8N is good is it will give you the entire code. You can
Mm-hmm.
literally post it in Google Cloud for free, and you can do
Okay.
around even 10,000 people in your app for completely free. The backend can be free because you are hosting the application yourself. You just have the keys and all, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that is what like majority of the people are doing. They're not even paying for Make or Zapier or anything. And N8N has inbuilt capabilities of AI models, so you can directly take an AI model from Hugging Face, put it
Wow.
in N8N, and give the output, and that's there, right? Like
Okay. And
imagine create an AI image
mm-hmm.
creator for headshots.
Mm-hmm.
It's very very tough, right? But you
Understood.
can do that. You can self-host it if you don't want to pay for a large amount of money, or you can directly go over there. They have some free trial, and you can use different AI models and make your own AI application in N8N. It's pretty good. Like there is a guy right now doing it in 30 days. He's creating 30 applications, and he
Wow.
literally made something like you can fill a form, like you can
Mm-hmm.
give your name, age, all that stuff, and you can upload 4 or 5 of your photos and click generate, and it will take the details, go
Wow.
through N8N, and give you your AI photos. So
Amazing.
that's an
Amazing.
application, right? You can literally
Exactly.
have this stripe or something, and that's all. Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
So,
like, I think if
you
we
can
get into no code, I think there's a lot to talk about it, right? Like, I think we can keep
man,
talking more and more and more
2 3 hours because I learned it more than 1.5 year, and nobody knows the entire potential of it. But right now, I'm not completely into no code, by the way.
into no
So
code. By the way, that's okay. So with that, I think we are kind of okay with this. Like, I think with this, like, what people can understand is that, like, let's say you have an idea, but like, I mean, like, if you're not into this, technical expertise, maybe you can just start with this. You can get your things going, and then maybe you can just completely transition into when you have a team. Maybe when you have it
scale the team.
exactly. So with that,
That is completely
and
alright if you stay no code, but
mhm,
it the preferences. So
understood.
yeah, I will also say why I'm saying this in the next part of it. We are discussing about no code. Right now, we'll discuss about the code part of it.
Okay.
Still, I am even learning again, but
Hmm.
thing is like you can't create the magic with no code. Like you can create stuff that you can imagine, but you can't create
Okay.
logics at that imagine say, hey, I have given you something, just create something which can't be possible via building blocks.
Mm-hmm.
They have some building blocks. You can't
Understood.
completely create something on your own.
Understood.
Yeah, it's like how do I say it? It's like pre-made meals, right? There are only
Hmm.
some things of it. It's not
Yeah.
custom made. Like it's not like you go for a Tyler and he exactly measurements. It is good. It's ready made. It's good, but if you imagine something in exact something way or a
Mm.
logic that you
Mm-mm-mm.
code gives you much more flexibility.
Yeah. I mean,
So
that's in terms of flexibility, scalability, and customization. I would say we have to get into coding. But if you just want to get started and get your ideas to the market,
it's
no code would be there.
fast.
Yes.
I have seen so many no code people do. But imagine you want to create a Telegram bot or something. It is
Hmm.
harder to do because you need a lot of code in the backend.
Exactly.
Coding makes sense for it. So
True.
imagine you're making a wrapper,
Hmm.
the functionality is something. Better go for the no code versions of it. So yeah,
Understood.
that's how we can
Okay.
do it.
So with that, I wanted to ask you the most important question that I've been having so far, and
Mhm.
I wouldn't say like I've completely figured it out, but apart from that, like I've also had a lot of people asking this. Okay, so we'll take two scenarios. One is the people who are actually from technical background. The other one is actually from or not completely not from a non-technical background. We do not mind like what their current situation is, but they want to get into AI because with all the developments that are happening, they do think that there's a lot of potential in AI, so they want to get into AI. So, what would you say to someone who's from a technical perspective? How can they get into AI, meaning completely into AI and make a career out of it? Similarly, from a person who's from a non-technical perspective, they want to get into AI and make a career out of it.
So when you're actually making, right, let's say if you're using Make, the
Hmm.
initial ones are pretty easy, but it get technicals pretty quick.
Okay,
You can see, right? For example, you need to go through the DNSs, you need to go through all of these things. So you will learn in the process of it. So let's say
understood.
if it's completely technical and you
Hmm.
want to do something, you know how to code and stuff. I would
Hmm.
suggest go with Cursor. Like
Yeah, that's
literally take
another
this description of
best
Cursor.
tool.
Like, see this. We're actually coding right now with Cursor. So I'll just show you this thing. Can you
Wow.
show me post version or something? So we're actually building an entire Google Forms, like type forms is there, right?
Hmm.
So building that entire thing within AI, so it actually knows. But the thing is, like you need to tell it how you can do it. So that is the intense part. If you are technical, you don't need to go for all the no code stuff. Just directly go and have a Cursor AI subscription. Code in the language that you want. It may be Next.js, React, or whatever it is. You have much freedom. You can create whatever that you think of, right?
Understood.
And yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like, and this is where this having this technical expertise literally helps you a lot, right? Because
yeah,
now we have a lot of this. I mean, like before when we had this Claude 3.5, it is like really good in coding as well. That's what
yeah,
we've been seeing. And now with GPT 01, so people are telling even that's like much more better. So the thing is, like here, if you have this technical expertise, it can literally make you to go to the next step easily without any
it's
difficulty,
it's
right?
insane. It can actually create stuff. For example, let's say I'm creating something called as Google Forms, right?
Okay.
Imagine you can change the icon, name, size, everything. What do you
Hmm.
need to do? You need to go there, change it, find it.
Exactly. Do everything.
But right now, you just type in the
What do you
chat window,
want? That's all.
say like, hey, I literally in the morning I said like, hey, change the color to teal and pink and make it look beautiful and change the icon and change the name to my mom's name. That's what I gave. And it did everything in a single prompt. And I can
That's
literally
amazing.
see it outside. And I said it and it made it responsive. Like so all the website is completely responsive. If you're building in no code, you need to make it responsive. So all this.
Exactly. And
So
by the way, when it comes to this UI part as well, we have this tool called VO, right? I don't know like what's the full form of the VO, wherein you can
so
just paste in a screenshot. It gives you an entire, code of that particular, UI, and then you
let
can just ask any changes.
yeah, you can do that. Can you show the part of the poster? Like my brother is actually doing it. Uh,
Sure,
the
that would be like really good.
So basically, let me show this thing. So this is the form that we're building it up. So you
Okay.
can add stuff like multiple boxes. You can show this thing. You can add question. So basically, like a Google form or type form, right? So we're
Mm-hmm.
actually putting it here. What's your name? You can add the question, and you can type there itself. So we're
Understood.
checking it out. Like you can add multiple choice questions, emails. So imagine you have a specific use case, and you
Mm-hmm.
can. So I think I have a challenge by tonight, and I will complete this entire thing, post it up, and it will be able. You can actually create the forms itself by yourself.
Wow.
That is my target. So see, you can, and you can even change it up. So all that code, right? And if you want to change something, you can literally ask it, and can you add something like
Exactly.
authentication? I added like in 5 minutes because I was following a tutorial actually because even I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how to do it. So once it's like a eureka moment. It's like oh my gosh, this is crazy insane, and the scale is
Exactly.
pretty good. Like for example, right now, let's say you have all the tech stack, $20 for
Okay.
course I pay every month, and I also pay for ChatGPT Pro, which is another twenty
Okay.
dollars,
Okay.
and I pay for Cloudflare. You can host it. even for free, it's unlimited. So you basically can host
What's that
unlimited.
tool again? It's Claude.
It's called Cloudflare. Cloudflare.
Okay,
You see
I'll
the
make a note
icon.
of.
Check you're a human or not. Cloudflare. Yeah. So it's a very big company and they offer a very good tech stack. So
Okay.
you can host all of your websites for free. It's
Wow.
unlimited visitors. So you don't even have a cap,
Wow.
right? And it's pretty faster than Amazon or AWS. The
Wow.
AWS or GCP, whatever it is. It's so good and so insane. Yeah.
Amazing.
So the entire cost falls down because you're developing it's $20 for Cursor, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and $5 for Cloudflare. And if you are using, let's say, Claude Pro, that's $20, and ChatGPT Pro, that's $20. So only for the tools you will get. But if you're using Bubble, it's $40 a month. Flutter Flow, it's around $50 a month. So depending on how you use it, because it's not capped at 40, it can go to 1,000, 2,000 as well. So you need to remember that in
Understood.
your yeah, yeah. So
Exactly.
that is why, yeah.
Okay. So it's like, you mean to say that if you're from a non-technical perspective, you're asking them, they can just go with no-code tools and help of this AI, they can start building applications. Whereas if you're like kind of into AI, I mean, from a technical perspective, make use
Yeah,
of the so-called, coding assistants,
per
which
se,
is, you
yeah.
can just call it, coding assistants, and they can start building applications, right? So, what would you say here? Like, do you prefer them to start building applications or just kind of provide services to the people who are asking those, applications?
The thing is, like, it's like a black box. Until you
Okay.
try it yourself, you don't know how
Mm-mm.
it's even possible. So last year
Okay.
I tried like the no code way of it. Uh, to be honest, I'm not completely successful as I am in the writing space of it. Because writing I had like around 20 plus clients, but the no code one, even I tried to make a lot of applications. So when I'm
Mm-hmm.
hitting the brim, I was quitting it. So I was trying to do something. Then I got to know it is not possible with it. Then I quit it. So I created more than 15 plus applications that I'm building on.
Wow.
So then I got the
Okay.
realization
Understood.
like you can't build something super complex, right?
Understood.
I worked with around 5 clients,
Mm-hmm.
but it got me thinking like maybe there is a limit for it. Then I completely shifted to hey, I think we should go to code or something. But if you're building simplistic apps and stuff, it's super cool to actually build with no code. It's very fast compared to you writing code from scratch. It's very insanely fast.
Okay.
Right? So
Understood. All right.
but if I
Okay.
want to give you a comparison,
Mm-hmm.
let's say you actually know how to build applications beforehand, and that took like 10 people, maybe like 2 to 3 months. A single person can do it in a week, right? So
That's, I mean,
imagine, yeah, it's very insane. And imagine you combine code and no code. Like, let's say you code whatever the front end that you want,
friend.
right? And you can automate the backend with N8N or something. You can self-host it to reduce the cost. So that's a mixing of code and no code.
It's like, yeah. I mean, like, this is where, like, if you literally understand how does whole architecture work,
Architecture
then
works.
maybe you can, like, literally you can kind of, disperse everything so that you can try to reduce your cost as possible, as well as you can try to build application faster, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's how you can do it.
Understood. Okay, now coming back to this AI thing again. Now, let's say me as a person have a bit of AI skills, is what I would say.
Yeah.
Maybe right from making use of this AI tools, integrating into the current workflows, or else building a simplistic RAG application, those things. Like, so in this case, like, how can I monetize it? So is it that do I have to start selling something, or like, I mean, selling as in can be sort of courses, or like how can I monetize my skill? Is that I can sell my services? Like, how does it work?
There are a lot of ways you can monetize it. The first thing
Hmm.
you need is people trusting you. So
Okay.
without them trusting you, no one is gonna buy your product or service.
True.
So you should be selling something, right? You are selling an outcome. You're not just selling an automation. So the best way should be working with a couple of clients, providing them
Hmm.
maybe like five
Hmm.
to 10 people or something. Then
Hmm.
then you actually know what is working, what is not.
Hmm.
Then you make a boilerplate out of it. For example, you can make 50 templates that can help lead generation agencies or something,
Understand.
right? So you sell that outcome as a digital product. Then you can sell your
Okay.
personal time, right? Then you can make like a cohort, a school community or something. So there are multiple ways, but the first initial thing is you need to bring someone some result. So,
Understood.
so the end of the day, it can be either money, it can be reach, it can be deals, leads, whatever it may be. So, or it can
Okay.
be time. So, which one is more valuable for you? You just focus on that. Yeah. inside.
Okay. Okay. Now, when we are talking about your monetization skills, right? Like
Yeah.
now, as far as like I know, like I've been seeing that you do a lot of, I think conferences. If I'm not wrong, like you go to
Yeah.
places wherein you give talks. So that's one thing. Second thing is like you build AI application, and do you like do it for your? Are you doing it kind of a product wise, or like doing? Are you doing it for clients?
So we right now we're providing services for our clients. So
Okay.
basically, let's say I went to other places, to
Mm-hmm.
conferences, meet a lot of people. That is my main source of leads till now. So I'm focusing right now on Instagram and Twitter at this point. So maybe I'll be posting much on how I'm building the stuff. Let's say I've shown the this thing, right, how I'm building
Mm-hmm.
the form.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say Typeform, it is valued around $1 billion,
Yes.
and you can build that entire product in a day.
Wow.
So
That's
product is not a mode right now. It's people using your product or distribution. So I
okay.
can give this entire thing for free because it doesn't cost me a penny, right?
Understood.
So
Uh,
a person like you and me who doesn't even have like PhDs or doctorates can actually beat the corporates with hundreds of thousands of employees.
hmm,
So that
that's
is the power of AI that's giving you. You just need to
okay.
have a good dedication and just know what you want to build and you can build it.
Okay. So it's like, and so now your source of lead generation is there. Like one is you go to a lot of networking events and you talk to a lot of people, so you bring leads from that. And apart from that, you're like focusing much on Instagram and Twitter. Okay. So like, what sort of content do you? I mean, like, sort of content as in like, do you do a lot of written or like completely into videos?
So I haven't started videos till now. I'm trying it. I tried a couple. I'm super lazy. I actually forget doing this thing. Again, the work comes up. So it's been a mess right now. But if someone is doing it, I would ask them to build them in public. Let's say people love seeing people grow, right? Like
Hmm.
imagine you are there at a point and if you are at 1,000 followers and you're sharing updates every day, you want them to win at some point of life, right?
Exactly.
There are people who want you to lose, but 90% of the people want you to win.
Want you to
And
win.
some people share with other people and always try. Ideas are not moat. Even
Hmm.
product is not moat. You can tell your idea to anyone. You can even build it yourself with AI. So tell it with a lot of people. Build in public. Even someone copies your own idea, they will be called the copied guy, not you,
Exactly.
right? So that is why you should try to able to do a lot of stuff, try to build in public, go to Twitter, say that hey, I'm building this thing up, ask people what they actually want, and yeah, that's the best way to go, I guess. Yeah, even
Okay.
I will be start doing it. I will start from Monday. Like today, I will build this, and again from Sunday, Monday, I'll be starting my build in public challenge. So that, hey, this is the product that I'm building. So what
Hmm.
features do you want? Then I can implement directly to them. If someone said, hey, I want to add them to the waitlist and give them the access, ask them to pay for some people, give them lifetime
Understood.
stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
And I think it was recently in Bangalore, Microsoft office, if I'm not
yeah.
wrong, that you went and you gave a talk, right? So, like, may I know, like, how did you land up on that opportunity? Like, how come people came
Okay.
up to you and like, what was that like?
So basically, this happened because I helped it before. So when I'm doing sessions in Bangalore, like last year, there is a
Hmm.
called as Harshad, right? So he is
Okay.
an engineer. He came to my first session, and they said
Hmm.
like doing all these things. Then second session he came to my thing. Then third session he came again. So
Yeah. And when you were, sorry to interrupt. So, like, when you were saying the session, like, what were you teaching back then?
I was teaching AI itself
Okay.
in last year in Draper Startup House Bangalore. So
Hmm.
I'm giving sessions every week. So
Wow.
I was pulling in people talking about Gen AI, ChatGPT, and
Hmm.
saying that hey, we have built a good platform that you can find tools of, right?
Okay. So it's like, you have, I mean, like, you have your own team, like, you kind of hosted
No,
this
no,
by yourself, like, how?
I'm single person. I'm solo doing all these things now.
Okay, so
So
you're the one who have hosted this events and you've started giving the sessions.
yeah, completely
Wow.
for free. So
Okay.
then he came to one of the session and he was
Hmm.
like, okay. Then I said like, okay, the next session you give a session. He never gave a session his entire life, and I said to him, "You are super curious. You have an interpretation of what AI is.
Hmm.
So session you give it, right?" I made him a
Okay.
speaker because I can't able to give a session, and he became a speaker. Then he started content creating, and right now he became an influencer. He has more than 60K followers on Instagram, and he
Wow.
started his first event, and he invited me as a speaker. So
Okay.
that's
So
how
it's
life
like
comes. Like you should
karma.
help us.
Okay.
Yeah, it's karma. So that's
Okay.
what I help. So to
Hmm.
be, I'm not doing completely formatting because it's up and down, up and down in the whole work stuff, life, everything. So right now I'm like getting back it all together. So that's how I get it. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So I think with that we've come to our end of the session, and it was like really great talking to you with all this, specifically no code and all the things. Again, since we both have started with content creation, writing, and all those creative space, right? So I cannot leave this session without asking you this. Look, what is your take on content creation in the age of AI?
I did you saw all my LinkedIn posts by the way?
Yeah, I mean, like, I have been, but I don't think like I've watching every post, but like I am.
Do you want to check it out? Do you want to read a couple of posts?
Yeah, sure. Just give me a minute. Maybe like I can share my screen as well. Just give me a
Yeah.
minute. I can do that and I can do that. Or like I can just, use my phone and I can show it to you too.
Read a
So,
couple of posts and see how you like them or not.
okay. I'm a bit curious. So I think 4 days back, like you've written something called everyone loves to talk about how AI will change the world, but let's get real. Most people use AI wrong. They think it's magic. The promise of tools like Cursor AI is huge, turn ideas into code in minutes. But without the right approach, it's just another distraction. I used to be one of them. I dive in without a plan, thinking Cursor would just figure it out. Guess what? He didn't. My projects looked half baked, my outputs were messy, and my frustration was off the charts. Here's what I figured out: the magic isn't in the AI, it's in the planning. Visualize before you build. AI is a tool, not a crutch. Start with wireframes in VO or hand drawn sketches. Create a vision, know your path. Give your AI the right guidance. A vague prompt gives you a vague result. Use Cursor directly to set the ground rules for your project. Think of it as a feeding your AI the right diet for optimal performance. Learn to pivot when stuck. When AI gets confused, I jump to another model like Claude. I don't rely on a single solution. Flexibility is key. Prepare your playground. Tag the latest docs, load them into your AI, and set it up for success. Cursor, when primed, can deliver exceptional outputs, but it needs a head start. Bottom line, stop expecting AI to do all the work. Give it direction, shape it, lead it. The people who win with AI are the ones who aren't afraid to roll up their sleeves into the groundwork. Are you ready to take control of your AI projects? No, please don't tell me that you've written this with AI. I'm pretty sure they're going to say that. Like I wouldn't be surprised that if you're saying that you'll be using AI. But I would say in order to get these sort of results, maybe you would have trained is what I would say. Or it's like it's
Basically,
not possible.
a single word in it. Not even a single.
Mm,
It's completely AI. So all
mm,
the posts, I even saw a bump in the interactions because I tried it with the most best posts in LinkedIn. So I
okay.
tried more than 100 posts in general, and the context, the prompting, engineering that goes into it.
Mm.
So
Okay,
even
so
I'm
it's like, have you kind of
getting
fine tuned it, or like have you used this RAG kind of like how did you do this?
so basically, right now in custom GPTs, it acts as a RAG. So that's a custom GPT writing all the things. So
Okay.
it's pretty good that how the custom GPT work.
Mm-hmm.
So like then also you give the context. So for context, I go to Perplexity and get the whole things and add my context which is not there in the internet. Then I make the post on it, and people actually like it a lot. So even
No.
I'm collaborating with other personal branding strategists, so they can create content for their clients at scale. So this level of content, and I even add my own life story, so AI knows what actually happened in my life till now. So that actually is a very big plus. Yeah.
Wow, that's really amazing. I mean, like, I can literally see that you would have used it because, like, since you're into AI and since, like, I'm also into AI, like, learning these things, like, I'm pretty sure that you would have used this. But from an as an average person, like, who's just reading this content, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't find out this in an AI.
Yeah.
Because currently, even though the models get the best without we doing the proper training on those things, like it can never
Can
kind of
never.
generate. Yeah, people can easily find out even though they don't know anything about AI, also they can just find out. But
Like
these sort of results is like, but this is just like one time work, right? Like, wherein you take the best performing post and you train it, and then like later you get to have all sort of posts using AI, right?
true.
It can be at scale. Yeah, so it's like you mean to say content creation is there, like, but we need to know how efficiently and how scalable we can use with the help of AI, right?
Yeah. For example, there is a content creator called as Varun Maya. I think
Yes,
everyone is Varun Maya. His
he
are super fast, and he uses AI. He uses a tool called as Hagen. He uses a custom avatar actually that costs around $10,000 in a year. So he uses that. He has a custom avatar, and everything in news comes out. The writers have custom GPTs. They literally just give the whole thing. I'll give you the script, and they give the script to AI like in Haitian, and with his voice, with his avatar, the whole thing comes out. They give to the editors with everything that they know. They put it those things, and a reel is done.
exactly.
So let's
I
say a
think
reel, and the
mhm,
time it's less than 5 to 6 hours, and he's the first person to post about.
yes, I'm like I think he's been very sound about AI. I would say like from the very long
He's
time.
he's an AI without AI is even cool. Like he's the OG man. Like he's the OG in India. Varun Maya. So and also like every time Intel there has an ad, there has an ad with him. Samsung new AI features there has an ad with him. So his audience are actually us, the young people, and he covers most of India, so not a specific region too. So
Exactly.
it's insane that how we do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I literally love his image, trainings. What I would say, I think he uses a technique called LoRa, if I'm not wrong. So he used
Yeah.
that technique to and like his image generation like pretty good. Like meaning we can generate a general image. Meaning like if you want to generate, let's say any other image that can be done, but using your face to generate your own AI image, that's like a bit difficult. Meaning like you
True.
need to do that training part. So since he has done a lot of those training and his image generation for using his own face is like really pretty good, pretty wild is what I would say.
It's insane.
Yes.
Super, super insane actually. Super
Yeah.
intense.
Yeah.
But it's crazy.
Mhm.
You can actually take part of all of these things. So that is the biggest flux we can actually have. So it's a
Exactly.
great thing out there. Yeah.
Mm. So I think with that we've come to our end of the session. So is there anything else, Phanindra, that you would love to add as a final
Uh,
words or thoughts?
so if I want to add something, I just want to say that like just don't be sleeping on AI. Try to learn something. If you can't build an entire application, try to learn how to talk to ChatGPT. Right? That actually makes a lot of sense. Even try to create things that you actually need. Ask it, can you create this thing? And create it up. Add small increments in your life and make it good. So that's all I ask of you. Then you can actually make super good things. So yeah,
Understood.
that's all. Yeah.
Okay.